Hello, my name is David Claudy, and I will be talking to you about the effects of COVID-19 on 4-H directly and indirectly. While we live currently in a world of uncertainty, the dire effects of a global pandemic will surely disrupt not only our current way of life, but all things surrounding the 4-H organization and its community. Unfortunately, COVID-19 seems it's not going away anytime soon and could have some long-lasting effects that will change the way we work with our animals, other people, and the entire 4-H organization. The 4-H organization not only has to worry about the 4-Hers, but the people around 4-H that make things possible for our youth. Many 4-H volunteers and employees are more on the older side of the age spectrums. What the top-rated medical professionals have learned about COVID-19 is that the youth and the elderly are more susceptible to not only catching the virus, but having health issues, and it can even be fatal for them. This is due to a young immune system, or just a weakened immune system over time, as their body isn't fully grown as a child, and their immune system is getting old as they get older. To understand how COVID-19 affects 4-H, we first have to understand what COVID-19 is. COVID-19 is a flu-like virus which is easily transmitted by air and through physical contact. Many states have had mandatory quarantines, lockdowns, and safety procedures to ensure the minimal amount of COVID-19 cases in the United States. So, how exactly does this affect 4-H and 4-Hers? First of all, we don't get to experience an actual fair. I remember my first fair quite fondly, even though I was only heading into the 4th grade, and I loved the idea of the process of growing and showing an animal or building a project. Fortunately, we're still able to do many of those things we love through 4-H in an unorthodox method of presenting it virtually online. While we still have the projects and whatnot, there are things I will miss dearly. The many trips I was about to go on, meeting new friends, and having great social and cultural experiences from all walks of life. While we are unable to do that currently as 4-Hers, I'm still extremely grateful that the fair is still going on, albeit virtually, and that we can still learn and grow from this as a whole. So, how does the pandemic affect 4-H indirectly? To affect 4-H indirectly, it would have to affect one of a few things. The 4-Hers themselves, which would be affecting 4-H directly, or the livestock. I'm sure many 4-Hers and their families had yet to get livestock, such as pigs, for the upcoming fair, all the way back in January and February, when COVID-19 was becoming more and more widespread around the world. My family had yet to buy pigs, and we were mighty glad we didn't once we had learned there was no actual in-person showing. Agriculture was also affected. The entire agricultural market was spinning around due to COVID-19, and 4-Hers were going to be indirectly affected by that one way or another. Whether it be due to the prices of animals growing higher and higher, or simply due to the fact that feed was going to get more and more expensive due to less sales overall. The global pandemic has affected our current 4-H situation, so how exactly will the virtual fair work? Members were given guidelines, which were adapted from the normal guidelines to fit the virtual format. Such as for livestock, making sure the photos were taken will give the judges the best ability to judge the animal fairly and thoroughly. Members were given 10 days in which to upload their projects to the fair entry platform. Following this, judges are given 2 days to judge and are being asked to give some written critique to every project so members have feedback from an experienced individual on how to grow and get better within their own project. Our county is releasing the projects over the course of what would be our fair week through slideshows posted on their website and on our county's fair and social media. So what can we take away from the virtual fair experience? One of the biggest and most important things that we can take away from this virtual experience is the accessibility and the availability of the projects to be viewed online. This allows family members who live far away, such as my Russian grandmother, or those who simply were going to be unable to attend the fair to view the projects at their own discretion. In addition, this could be a useful resource for incoming and new 4-H members and their families, as it will allow them to see examples and ideas of projects, especially later in the year, when they will be considering to take in the following fair year. So I've talked about the current situation with 4-Hers, how they're affected directly, indirectly, the benefits of a virtual fair. What about future 4-Hers? Surely COVID-19 will impact them, right? The worldwide pandemic will absolutely affect future 4-Hers. There's no doubt about it. If we can't go to school without health restrictions, I'm sure the same will be for future 4-H events all across our great nation. Masks will be required for every fairground, moderate social distancing, and consistent hand washing and sanitizing will be necessary. Future implementations may affect our overall shows. Will we be able to show next year? How about the year after? These are all difficult questions to answer in the present time, but I'm sure that the future of 4-H and future 4-Hers will have nothing to worry about. It would be quite unfortunate if the last few years of my 4-H career online instead of in person, but I guess that's why they call it safety first. The future of 4-H is in our hands. Will we wash them or spread COVID-19 to the extent of no more in-person fairs? The choice is yours. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lakin Mosher. I'm in 6th grade and this is my 4th year in 4-H. Today I will be doing a demonstration on the 4-H project cake decorating. Cake decorating is a fun and creative project. So, the things that I will be needing in order to do this project: a mixer, royal icing mix, decorating bags, couplers, and tips. So, the first thing that I will be doing is mixing up my icing. I've already mixed up my icing. I'm going to freshen it up. That should be good. If your icing gets hard in the middle of decorating, you can always add some water. That will help your icing soften up. So, the first thing I'm going to be doing is color striping. Color striping is a cool way to show different colors. So, you'll take your decorating bag and put the coupler in to see where you need to cut your bag out. Then, you'll use scissors to cut. Okay, now I will put my tip on. I am using a 22 star tip to make a border or something. So you'll take your other half of the coupler and twist it on to make sure that it's secure. Next, you'll take a cup and you will fold the back. I am using a clear cup because I find that it is easier to see through it, so that you can see what you're doing in the back. So, for color striping, you can use a coloring and stripe it in, or you can use a spatula. I'm going to be using a piping bag. So, you can take it out like this to do it, or you can put it in your cup. So, just pipe a line. You can make it thick or thin, whatever you prefer. Then you will be adding in your frosting. So with color striping, you want to make sure that it does not touch the line because you do not want it to mix until you are ready. Now I'm going to be using a spatula to put in my light green frosting. I'm using a darker version or a lighter version of this color to make some contrast with my frosting. So just put in little bits at a time so that you make sure that you don't take it off. Okay, now you can take it out of your cup, unfold it, take a rubber band and put it around your, where is it? Around your back. So in order to get the kind of color you want, you will need to pipe it out first. Okay, so I've done testing. As you can see, the colors were not consistent. Now the colors are consistent and I can do a border. I am doing a reverse shell border with my color striping. You can do a reverse shell border, a star border, whatever you want. Now I will be showing you what this black square is. The black square I have already put on the paper so that it will dry in order to do this next thing. So this is called color flow. Color flow is a technique that people use when they're wanting more flat lines. I found that color flow is very fun and easy to use. You just take simple royal icing, add in whatever color you want, then you thin it up with water. So you take it, and as you can see, it is very thin and runny. That's the consistency that you want. Then I will be taking this square and putting it in, and it will flow out. So I'm just piping an X across it, and it will flow on to the edge of it. If you want to touch it up, you can add little dots or lines, and it will flow out. So you can use this to make dots, like you can use a watermelon for an example, and pipe this out, and then use a black color flow color and dot it in to make the seeds, and then it will flow smoothly. So as I'm waiting for that to go out, I'm just almost there. It is all flown out. So that is 2 examples of what you can do with cake decorating. You can print, you can do borders, you can do multiple things and use your creative mind. So try the cake decorating project.